Yeah, hello people. So just wait for our cast. We can do it just within 2 or 3 minutes. Don't go anywhere. Today we're going to listen about the XEX project. So stay tuned with us. Hello, sir. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah. So how are you today?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Yeah, I'm also. So just wait 1 minute for joining the people. Then I can start.
Okay. Um, Let me post an announcement for my community too, just to make sure we get everyone.
Yeah, sure, sure. So when you're ready, just inform me, then I can start.
Yep, just 1 second. Sending out a tweet. All right, I'm good to go.
All right. So thank you everyone for today's AMA. This is the Wise Crypto. Today we're going to discuss more about the XEX Crypto. And also here is our honorable guest. We will know more from him. So first of all, the XEX is a free to mint cryptocurrency that exists on the multiple blockchains. So, sir, could you please introduce yourself first? That how do you connect to this project?
Yeah. So, um, I've known the founder for a few years, and we were talking. This was about maybe in early November, and it came up, why are most people in crypto? And I think the answer is pretty simple for most. It's for money. And I think that's understandable. Crypto is the easiest way to gain your financial freedom if you know what you're doing. But also, I feel that there is a larger part of the community that really wants to be a part of something greater than themselves. I mean, we all get to come on, express our personalities with each of our profile pictures and characters. Like, we can be whoever we want to be. And I feel that crypto is such an open place to that, um, unlike any other industry I've worked in. So, with this in mind, we really wanted to create a project that would enable both of these. Something that allowed people to have control of a community while also being financially incentivized. So we came up with X, which is a free to mint coin on Ethereum, Polygon, Avalanche, MATIC, and Phantom. We're launching on new chains, but essentially why it's free to mint and how it works is that 99% of the supply goes to the community, right? We want people to be empowered with the amount of tokens they can own, because not only does it incentivize them to be um, financially tied to the project in that they own a decent amount of the token, but also they have control. So if you own a decent amount of this token, you are incentivized to build with it or create memes or tell your friends or just be that answer that opportunity that this project allows you to have, which is express yourself creatively in crypto and be a part of something bigger. So,
Yeah, that's true.
and it's different than most other meme coins that I've seen, because usually you have a liquidity seeded, um, there's the entire supply is just in the liquidity pool. And what the problem with that is that someone with a decent amount of money can come in and swoop up 10% of the supply in one transaction. And that leads to, I think, unhealthy community dynamics, as we've all seen. Someone that owns a ton of the token, you feel less confident. So by having the token X as a free mint for 2 years, it essentially allows distribution more on a time-based mechanic. If you go into mint and you choose a long-term date, you'll essentially have more of the supply than someone who comes in and mints for a shorter-term date. And the longer your mint date, it takes longer for you to access your X, but you receive more in return. So essentially, it rewards people that are in this project for the long term by giving them more of the token, which is, therefore an increased amount of the supply.
Yeah, thank you, sir, for describing this. So, as you know, XEX is the free-to-mint cryptocurrency. So, can you say more exactly that what does mean to free-to-mint actually, and also what is your main purpose of the XEX project?
Yeah. So free to mint essentially means that all you have to do is pay gas. And we wanted this to be as cheap as possible, just to allow anyone from any background with any amount of money to at least have some part in the community. So by being free to mint on chains like Ethereum, which are more expensive, but also to cheaper chains like Phantom or Polygon, you receive the same token. It doesn't matter where you mint on. You can mint on the cheapest chain, and you're still just as the same community member as if you did on Ethereum. Now, the difference being that as more mints happen on each chain, the less X they will produce. So there's a bit of game theory to these, where a cheap mint chain, like right now Phantom has about 50,000 mints, is going to give you less X per mint than something like Ethereum, which only has 500 mints. Now, Ethereum is still a lot more expensive as far as gas, so you still might be getting more X per dollar spent on something like Phantom, but at some point, there will be a point of equilibrium where you should be minting on Ethereum if you want the most X for your money spent. So it's kind of a complex game theory, which I think keeps minting interesting. Just if you want more, you should dig into each chain's gas cost and try to calculate how much X you're getting. And again, this is just to incentivize distribution. So the first 6 months of this project are all about distribution. What does that mean? Well, we believe that the most successful coins have the majority of the supply in active and loyal community members. So something like Sheeb or Doge or Floki, what they did great was have a proper distribution. Like, for example, Floki, it got dumped by Vitalik, I remember, before it ever took off. Like, there needed to be that distribution into people that were fine to absorb that sell pressure, to hold on to it and actually believe in the project. And what we're trying to do with the minting contracts is simulate that. We're trying to have it where people that just want to mint and dump are fine to, but those that actually want to mint and hold, also will be able to. It's about trying to make it so that the majority of our supply is in the community's hands, and a strong community. So in 6 months, we're going to be furthering the distribution of the X token by launching it on different chains. Right now, we're looking at Moonbeam, which is GLMR, Arbitrum, which doesn't have a token yet, and then the other one is Metis. So we're looking to expand on different chains. We want to launch on a new chain each month, just to help anyone on any chain get some exposure to our project. And that's the goal for the first 6 months.
Yeah, thank you for that actually. So I can see like the minting EX is like purchasing a gift card. Like when anyone or you purchase a gift card, you are essentially turning one currency into another. Like you have the cash that you give to the merchant and also return for a monetary value that can only be used in the certain situation. So if you buy the iTunes gift card, no longer have the cash, but money that can be used to purchase app, music, or anything within the iTunes store. So I can see that XEX is one kind of similar like that. So in that you were using another cryptocurrency such as like Ethereum, AVAX, or any kind of BNB to pay the transaction fees in order to receive the EX like XEX. So like a gift card, you can use it actually. That's very cool procedure.
Yeah, thank you. I think most crypto tries to find that, balance of what it's actually used for. And, what we're going to really push for X is to listen to the community and what they want it to be used for. Like, what needs do they
Yeah.
see?
Yeah, definitely. So I saw that there is a code for the XEX. Can you say more about it and also your minting procedure and also including the staking?
Can you repeat that last part? Sorry.
Yeah, I just said, can you say more about your minting procedure and also staking?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so as far as minting, it's pretty simple. You go to our website, xexcrypto.com. All you have to do is go to the mint page, and you're prompted with the option to either do a single mint or batch mint. The only difference is that batch mint essentially creates multiple mints for you in one transaction. So if you were going to mint a single mint multiple times, you might as well just do a batch mint since it makes it easy for you. And when doing batch mint, you select how many wallets you want it to create for you. This is just, again, in order to scale the amount of mints for you. It's really up to you. The max right now on each chain is 10. We're looking to optimize the contracts to increase that. And then you select your term date, which is the most important. So the term date is the amount of time in days until you receive your mint. So right now, depending on the chain, if you selected the max term, right now on Polygon and Phantom, I believe it's 244 days. And on other chains, it's 100. And the lowest amount of time you can do on all chains is 1 day. Now, if you did 1 day, essentially what you're asking for is, hey, I'm minting today. I want my tokens tomorrow. Now, most people do that if they're looking to sell right away or maybe stake. But from what I've seen, the most efficient strategy is to do a longer term date. And this is because the more mints that you have after you mint, the greater amount of X you receive. So if you do a max term, let's say 244 days, you essentially have 244 days, whereas more people come in after you, you're going to get more X. So it incentivizes you to bring in new people, to try to encourage others to mint and build the project out. And I think that's one of the cool mechanisms that we used is that, people who have a longer mint time should be rewarded. They get more tokens, but it's also at the trade-off of not being able to, have liquid exposure to it. So it's kind of this mutualistic design where we give you more tokens, and in return, what ends up happening is you bring in more users. And from there, it kind of is a flywheel into mints. And then after your term date, this is also important. So you want to claim on your exact term date. So if you did 244 days from today, I don't know what that is off the top of my head, but in 244 days, you're going to want to come back to the website and claim. And if you don't, every day that goes by, you receive a penalty on how much you can claim. And if you claim about a week later, you lose 99% of your available claim. So this mechanism is to encourage active users to avoid botting, and to also just create a system in which active community members are rewarded and people that add value to the community. So don't forget to claim.
Yes, people. So don't forget to claiming. I just wanted to say everyone stay in with them to know more about their informations, their updates, and what they're doing right now. So make a research about the XEX project, and if possible, I can mint their token. So that's all about. So, sir, what is your roadmap and vision right now?
Yeah, so this is what I'm most excited about. I think most meme coins, again, they want to pump right away. They want to have this really active, awesome community, but don't give them the tools to actually build it out themselves. So for me, it's huge to take this at a slower pace, let the minting happen, and build the community. So for reference, our mint period lasts 2 years. So it started about a week and a half ago, and it'll run full 2 years. Every day that goes by, you're able to mint less up until that 2 year mark where you'll be able to mint zero. So essentially, the earlier you get in on a 2 year timeline, the more you'll get of X. And to incentivize this distribution, the first 6 months, we're going to launch lottery minting, which is essentially a way to earn X without losing your initial deposit. So the idea is that you'll be able to stake on our website, and every 7 days, everyone's staking yield will be randomly given to one person. So if you put in, 1,000x, and you have a ton of people that also do that, the staking yield might be something like 10,000x. Now you still have your 1,000x, you're not going to lose that, but only one person gets everyone's yield. So it's kind of like this fun lottery mechanic in order to encourage people to stake, and also just to redistribute this X to people that are active and want to try the things we build. We're also going to launch an NFT collection. It's AI generated by a really great AI artist at 3X Ultra. Essentially, that is to reward early community members. So we want people that were with us in these first 6 months to be distinguished from people that join a year and a half later. And you've seen this in other meme coins where people that have been around for a while or are like the OGs in the community, there's really not a clear way for them to distinguish that. Like maybe they can send you their address that shows they bought, let's say Doge in 2014 or something ridiculous. Like it's just too many extra steps. And I believe with NFTs, we have the opportunity that by whitelisting the first 8,500 minters, doing whitelist collabs with early partner DAOs and alpha groups, and then also our special Discord role that gets also this whitelist. We want people that supported us early to have that distinctive NFT, so that when you see them, unless they bought it off secondary, they were with us at the beginning. And then kind of tying in this NFT with the token, right? So that's the first 6 months. We're going to have the NFT, the token, lottery minting. Then we're moving into an AI generation, and that's to cultivate that part of our community. It's pretty early, but we've had significant interest in AI and NFTs from our community. We have the Midjourney bot set up in our Discord. Things seem to be heading in that direction for our community, and that's what we want to follow. So we're going to make sure to use this narrative and this energy from the community. So we want to build a tool that goes on top of different generation platforms like Midjourney, OpenAI, even something text-based like ChatGPT-3, and then have it so that you can make that on-chain as an NFT in like a single line command from Discord. So if you generate an image, all you have to do is, say one more thing, click enter, and it'll be on-chain depending on what chain, whatever price, whatever marketplace, and that will require X to do. So we're looking to build utility into the products that we're heading towards. And then after that, we're looking to build an actual NFT marketplace focused around AI, not just NFTs, but also off-chain resources for AI, maybe similar to some sort of social feed, but really connecting, the AI community to ours, because we think it's going to be very important in crypto, and we want to be the leaders of it, and we want to try out these new narratives and meta. We want to be at the forefront of what's happening in crypto, because we know that if we do that, we'll attract the right community members and they'll build cool things in addition to what we're building. So that will be, let's see, that's about a year after launch. So let's envision in a year from now, the token's about halfway minted out. We've got NFTs, we have these AI products. Now is the direction where we want to ensure that the mechanisms are in place for that when our token explodes, we have the proper support for it as far as liquidity and management. So the first product we're building in our third phase will be an auto compounder. Essentially, it'll be on any chain where you can deposit your yield earning assets, and they will be sold and they will buy X off the open market. So essentially it allows you to earn X while also supporting the price and deepen liquidity. And we'll also be putting some of our team treasury in that, so there's constant buy pressure without diluting ourselves, which I think is important to have this kind of sustainable mentality while also supporting the token price. And then after that, we're looking to use different DeFi mechanics, like bribe markets for Curve, Convex, Balancer, Frax, to use our token X to bribe different voters on these governance platforms to vote for our liquidity. Essentially, what that will do is give the X treasury governance tokens for like Curve, Frax, Balancer, and we'll be able to continually vote for our own pools to receive more emissions and eventually attract more liquidity. So that's the DeFi phase. It's a little more technical than most meme coins, but that's my background. I come from, I've been in DeFi since right around DeFi summer. Before that, that's when I really got into crypto. So I really wanted to see that play a part in this, because I think DeFi made such a huge stride in crypto's use case that, using it efficiently, I think we can really be an example to set on, hey, we have all these really lucrative tools that mostly DeFi native projects are using. Why not something like an AI meme coin that knows what they're doing and can utilize it properly? So that's what we're taking a stab at for phase 3, and then phase 4, last phase. So this will be within the time frame when X is no longer being minted. The supply will be capped. This is in about 2 years' time. And around then, what we really want to focus on is buybacks and burns. I think that is a good narrative, and people really like that. And we'll have the products and infrastructure in place to have significant buy pressure into our liquidity to help do this. So with all the products I mentioned, the NFT or the Genta NFT, the AI Hub, the lottery minting, our secondary fees from our NFTs, the auto compounder, the bribe mechanisms, all these things are going to have fees turned on and automatically go back into buying X off the market and burning it. So, and in addition to this, we're going to have arbitrage bots. Since we do have liquidity on all 5 chains we're launched on, ETH, Phantom, AVAX, Binance, MATIC, we want to utilize that liquidity and even out prices through our own internal arbitrage bots, which profits from these arbitrage strategies will be used to buy back and also burn X. So what we're really looking to do through this 2-year vision can be broken down in 4 phases. First 6 months is distribution. how do we get the token in the right people's hands? Phase 2 is AI and NFT cultivation. How do we build this community around something interesting and novel and cool? And how do we really cultivate the community to be interested in that? Phase 3, back to the DeFi mechanics. That's like, how do we build infrastructure around our token so that it can really thrive as we go into phase 4, which is the deflationary mechanics around it. So how do we use everything we've built to support the price and really, gain attention? Because the reality is most people only pay attention to price. They look at the chart. It's what crypto is. And rather than fighting that, I think it's smart to embrace it, but not to get impatient at the same time, to really build things that support this community so that when the time does come, that, we'll be in the right position. We'll have the right infrastructure. We'll have the greatest community in crypto. We'll be on dozens of chains. We'll have a kick-ass NFT collection that has utility within all our products. And then, we go from there. From there, it's in the community's hands. You guys would own 99% of the supply. It really is about, us building out what we think is best to begin with, but then, not getting stuck on a roadmap just for roadmap's sake. Be able to adjust and deploy some cool secret products. Like, we're working on one right now. It's involving Bitcoin ordinals, which are the NFTs on Bitcoin that were pretty new, I think in the last week. So we're working on building something cool there. And, we are most likely deploying that in the next 24 hours. So we want to not only do the roadmap, but just do cool things. And I think that is, what as a crypto person myself, I want to be a part of a project that does cool things and that does things that no one else has done. And I think that's our biggest strength with X.
Yeah, thank you, sir. It was a huge description, but I think it will help to people get more about your token, and also they have NFT collection. You can meet people, so don't worry about that. Just engage with them actually. So, sir, thank you for describing all the pros and cons about your project. So, I'm going to take some questions from the Twitter. Are you ready?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, so the first one is from Diane, like the revenue is an important aspect for all the projects to survive and also maintain the project and company. What is the way to generate and profit revenue of your project? Can you say more about it?
Yeah. So, right now, as we exist today, the only way we're bringing in profits to the treasury is on claims. So when you claim, a small added amount of fee goes to the treasury. It's a gas fee. We call it a gas tax. And we chose it to do this way. We were originally planning on a transaction tax with the token. You've seen that a ton, where people who send it to each other, you have to add in 2% slippage on any DEX you use, or sometimes they add the transaction tax to like 15% or something ridiculous. And we found that it just degrades the user experience. Like, it gets us hard to get listed on centralized exchanges. It's just another thing that users have to deal with and remember. So we decided a flat gas tax when claiming was the best way to go. It's a one-time tax, and essentially allows us to keep building this roadmap and be sustainable. So again, with actually directing revenue to the treasury, we think it's important, and each product's going to have some aspect that does. And eventually this treasury will be controlled by the DAO, so the token holders. At the end of the 2 years, we plan on enabling voting rights for everyone that holds X. And essentially at that point, the treasury is yours to direct. There'll still be a core team. They'll still be on, a paid basis. But if there's a cool new project that the community decides needs to be funded, all you have to do is hold your X and vote. And that money will essentially go back into building the project. So, we're big on sustainability. We want to be around for years and years. We want to be on every chain. We really want to see this thing through and make sure that we don't get in a position where, we can't build because of money. So that is definitely our focus, to make sure we have a constant revenue stream.
Yeah, thank you for that. I think he has got it if he's in here. So the second one is from that is for you. The question is, what challenges does the XEX token face is becoming to widely adopted and also recognized metacultural company within the crypto space?
So what challenges are we facing? Is that the
Yes.
question? Okay. Well, I think it's like anything in crypto. Most people that log in and try to explore crypto are met with so much information. There's a scam at every corner. You don't know who to trust. You've put your faith in other projects before, gotten rugged, or just, crypto is quite literally the craziest market, I think, that exists in the world. It's full of risk at every corner you turn. How does a project that is serious, and although it comes across as a meme coin, but really has a lot of thought and energy and vision into it, how do you distinguish yourself from everything that pops up on people's feeds, because it all looks the same, and at first glance we look, pretty much the same. You really have to dig into or be here listening to realize that there is something different about this project. So I think the challenge just comes inherently with being a new project in the space, and we're going to have to prove ourselves to be taken seriously, and I welcome that challenge. So I think really our greatest challenge is time. Can we stay on pace for the roadmap? Can we deliver? Can we, day in and day out, be the team that the community deserves to create a kick-ass project? And we're trying our best, and I think we're doing a good job. But coming on these AMAs and trying to speak with people directly, answer questions, and even if one person walks away feeling better about our project than if they did before, I think that's a success, because a project like this, all you have to do is plant the seeds in a few right places, and given enough time, I really think that quality rises to the top. And that was kind of one of our reasons for using the hourglass emoji in a lot of our branding. It's, the mint lasts 2 years. It's a matter of time, right? We're not going to pump tomorrow, but what we are going to do is use the time we have and build, so that when the time does come to be a successful project as far as token price goes, we're ready. So yeah, I'd say that's the biggest challenge, is just the nature of crypto and trying to align your values in a way that's transparent, rather than, fall into just the rest of the projects that don't survive and that don't care, because, there's enough of those in crypto. That's not what this is.
Yeah, thank you, sir, for answering this question. So the next one is it seems that a lot of projects from the 2017 are gone and also failed to deliver their promises. So how will avoid the same fate for you, and also how can we be confident the project won't be disappear within a year from now?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, that's a great question. So I think we've only been around for a week, right? We launched our contracts, so you're able to mint X on any chain, ETH Phantom, AVAX, Polygon, Binance Smart Chain, but that was our first, that is our first way of showing like, hey, we're here for the long run. This token takes 2 years to mint. Like, this 2 years doesn't sound like a lot, but it's also a realistic time in what I think is a crypto context. So something like our so Zen, XEN, which is what our contracts are a fork of, we use their contracts, which are audited 3 times. So the security is there, but they have a distribution for 10 years. And they also are a different token on every different chain that they mint on. So what we wanted to show is that, hey, we are going to set something realistic. We're crypto people. We know how these things work. Attention span is pretty limited. and we're going to be around for 2 years. That's their first product. So now you know we're going to be with you for 2 years. There's no reason. We haven't made any money. All the amount of X is held in a multi-sig, which is publicly viewable. It's very transparent, and we've built it that way to kind of build this trust from the ground up. So to continue to make sure that, we're not going to fade away into every other crypto project's just lack of relevance, is we're going to put our heads down and we're going to deliver on our roadmap. And we understand it's going to take time, and that, the second product is not going to be tomorrow. But at the same time, like, each product that we build and the longer we're around, we believe that it will attract more people. So minting now and in the last week, those people are going to be greatly rewarded because they took the risk, right? They took the risk on us. It's a very low risk. It's just one free mint. It only costs gas to mint. It's not like it requires a whole ton of capital, and we designed it that way on purpose. But still, the people that did take the risk will be rewarded because, this is crypto. You don't know if something's going to turn out great, but it's finding these projects that are small and just starting and are kind of these, diamonds in the rut, and taking a chance on them. And, I'm just here to tell you that I think we're worth taking a chance on. But like in anything in crypto, nothing's guaranteed. But it's about doing what we think is best, listening to the community, and just delivering on what we promise. I think every day that goes by, every product we release, every community member that comes in and chats with us on Discord and has a good experience, like, each of those are just building blocks to creating a brand, a crypto community similar to something like Sheeb or, something even bigger. I really think we have the opportunity, but it's one thing at a time, right? So to answer your question, I think that we're going to be relevant because of our mindset. It's just, we're going to deliver, and we're going to make our community try to feel as, heard and welcomed as possible. And if something doesn't work, we're going to just keep trying. And we're also well funded. The products we're doing create revenue. We have enough funds to last for that 2-year initial period. So yeah, we have the money, we have the talent, and now it's just up to us to deliver.
Yeah, that's true. And also, as I said, that they have a long plan for 2024 and also for the upcoming year. So no worry about that. They're not going to be vanish, or they're not going to be disappear. Just stay tuned with them to know more about it. And also you can follow their Twitter, Telegram, and also you can see their website and also white paper.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and just to add to that, actually, I mean, I'm not the founder of this project, but I know him, and he really convinced me to come on and, be a part of this project, just because I think the vision is unlike anything crypto's done. And like I said, I've been in crypto since 2018, 2019, and I haven't really I haven't gone on an AMA's project before. Like, this is the first one. And I think that shows, like, I'm willing to bet my reputation on this. And as far as crypto goes, I believe reputation is everything. So, it's a risk for everyone involved, the team, the community. But I think sharing that risk is important, because you don't want to have it so there's an imbalance in power. Like, that's why we gave 99% of the token to the community. We want to have this balance where it's like, okay, we're the ones building, but the community is also in control. Like, how do we find this balance? And I think we're finding that now. And as more people come in, I think we will grow with the community. So yeah, I think as far as us going away, I don't see it happening, at least in the no. And we have 2 years. That's the plan. If like no one mints and everything sucks, then maybe we'll shut it down, but we're not going to give up in the next 2 years. We're going to try to make this work.
Yes, thank you, sir, for that. So we have other questions for you. Like, Honestly, I can say the hard reality is that some projects remain halfway because their developers abandon the concept because they cannot achieve the desired capitalizations in the term. So, how do you plan to make your project sustainable for its development?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, developers are everything, right? Without them, any crypto project would be wouldn't exist. So I think the important thing that I've seen in projects and what we're doing with X is finding a balance between, you don't want to overwork the devs, but you also don't want the dev to be the business person. Because believe me, if you try both, you're going to be overwhelmed. It's like crypto is a lot of work for the front facing side, for people like myself, business development. It's a lot of work for moderators. It's a lot of work for front end developers. It's a lot of work for back end developers and contract developers. So I think what we did really well, and from day one, is really figure out our roles. So we did not bring on a developer and say, hey, you need to do contracts and manage the community and do all this other stuff. Like, we made sure that everyone feels balanced in their roles and knows what they have to do so that there is no developer burnout or fatigue. Because you got to understand, these are people at the other end of the computer, right? Like, life happens. They might have other obligations, especially for a project like this, that can't pay them full time just yet. But it's about communicating early and just making that clear, and this is just like an internal perspective. I don't think it comes to the communities like face that often, but from working with different crypto projects as an advisor, I can't stress how important it is to like have a balanced team. Because if you expect one person to do everything, you're just setting yourself up for failure. So I think, again, that's one of our greatest strengths. So right now we have, I think, off the top of my head, 7 team members. Myself as the founder, contract dev, front-end dev, a few mods, and then also a community events manager. So we are well-funded to support everyone and able to, balance out the workload, because a project of this scale and this vision cannot be done by a few people. It needs a team, and it needs a good team. And, like I said, I've worked with a lot of projects and advised, and I think this is the best team I've worked with. Like, everyone's motivated to see this thing through. They know the time scale. Like, 2 years is it's stamped on everyone's, like workspace. They know that it's not about tomorrow. It's about the vision of seeing this all come together in a few years. And I think by having that culture internally and with the team, and not feeling this immense pressure to be, the next sheep tomorrow, but to be something spectacular in a few years, is infectious. And I think the community takes that over. It creates this air of patience. That's where our slogan comes in, like mint, vibe, repeat. Right now, if you already minted, you should just be vibing. There's no pressure. The team's going to deliver. We're having a good time, and we're not, tearing our hair out, because we want this to be fun for everyone. We want it to be cool. We want it to be innovative. And it's unlike any other market or culture where you have this, boss yelling at you to get this deadline in, or you're fired or whatever. No, crypto should be collaborative. It should be where if a community member comes in with an idea, that they should have that ability to talk with the team. Or if there's a community who's a great memer or a great, shit poster on Twitter, or can build a front end or a Dune dashboard or help with contracts, like, let this be this kind of, let the cross-pollination happen, and enable that creativity for both developers and community members. Because to me, that's what crypto is about. It's about this weird culture that, we're all these weird little internet beings that we decided to make one day. And we create our own personalities, and, that should shine through in our work and the communities we are a part of, because we're humans. That's what we crave. And I think crypto loses that part so often, and that's what we want to cultivate.
Yeah, thank you, sir, for explaining these questions very well. So I'm going to ask the last question from the Twitter. Like, Can you please tell us some of the use case of your token in your platform, and what are the uses of this token in your platform and also in the market? What are your benefits when buying and holding your token for the long term?
Right. So let me highlight two things. So right now, the token, which is free to mint, don't buy it off the exchanges because you're just not going to get that much. So it's a free mint. The risk is relatively low, but why am I minting in the first place? And through our roadmap, we wanted to highlight why this is important. So the first thing is that our token is meant to be the lifeblood of whatever we build. One of the things that I hate about crypto projects is that they start off with this great token and they have a new product idea. And they're like, okay, let's just build another token for it. And then as soon as you do that, it slowly becomes like this corrosive effect of dilution, because people just naturally, psychologically, they want to go for the smaller or riskier element. And it kind of directs this community away from the main token, which I think, at least in a project like this, only one token makes sense. So the first thing that you can expect when minting X is that, listen, this is the only token you're going to need. Everything we build will be built around this token. You don't need to worry about migrations. Even on any chain, if you mint on Phantom and we build something cool on Ethereum, you're still fine. It's the same token. You can bridge it. You don't even have to. You can stay on Phantom. But just the way that this token is connected across all chains using layer 0, so that you can bridge and it's the same contract address regardless of what chain, it allows this synergy for our products to affect everyone and help everyone and build a community together. So all the products that I mentioned earlier in all of our phases are either going to utilize X as the currency to use the product, or they're going to be buying back X. And if you want to go through our roadmap, it's on our website, it's in our docs, and it's in our Discord. So all those products, the Auto Compounder, Agenda NFT, AI Hub, bribe markets, arbitrage bots, those are all going to support the token price. So in essence, the token is the lifeblood. Whatever we build is going to use the token. Some will be buybacks, some will just be you need it to actually use the product. But that's one thing you can count on. As our roadmap develops, there will be more use cases for the token. That's the goal. Now, the second thing I want to highlight is the actual NFT. So you see this a lot where, it's this kind of tension, right? You have the NFT and you have the token. Which one do you buy? And we don't want people to be in that situation, right? We want the NFT, the Exodons, to go to early community members. There will be a mint price, but that's to like bootstrap the treasury, and to also, give this air of differentiation between early supportive community members that hold this profile picture, which they're really cool, by the way. I'm excited to reveal them, and actually tie that in with the token. So the NFT is also going to be integrated in every product we build. Now, depending on the product, you can't buy back and burn NFTs. I don't think that works. Their use case is, like I said, to distinguish people, to give 10,000 people that sense of like, yes, I was in this community early, I hold the NFT, and I have all the benefits that come with it. So a few examples with the NFT, for example, in lottery staking, like I mentioned, where you deposit your X and you earn a yield, and that yield is aggregated between everyone that stakes and is given to one person. If you hold the NFT, and depending on the rarity, we're planning on giving you a percentage in your odds in being able to earn that, to win that raffle. So if you hold like a legendary, you might have like a 5% extra chance of winning that lottery each time. So just that's one example. Another is for our Agenda NFT, where when you're pushing AI generated NFTs on chain using Discord prompts in a tool that we're going to build, usually it'd require, something like 100x to publish on top of gas fees. People that hold the NFT might have a reduced fee or the fee waived. So we're looking every product, it's about the token as the lifeblood, and then the NFT is given this extra benefits that reward them for being early community members and give them discounts or even fees back, or just really anything that we can tie into this token, the NFT, because we don't want there to be a tension. We want those that hold the NFT to be like the OGs or the well-respected community members, and at the same time, anyone that holds the token is still part of the community, and that they don't feel this tension between each other.
Yes, thank you, sir, for that. So the purpose of their project is to create a currency that is not able to be manipulated by the select few rich people, but also rather a collection of the thousands of people actually. So this is the power of the cryptocurrency, as you said actually. So people get ready for the questions and get the different questions for asking. Sir, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, so I saw a lot of people already made a request to ask a question. So first of all, it's Amir. Hello, Amir.
Hello, ma'am.
Yeah, Amir, ask your question, please.
So many projects just like to speak about the long-term vision and mission. But what are your short-term objectives? What are you focusing right now?
Thank you for the question. Yeah, so I agree. A lot of projects do look, they look ahead and they forget what's right in front of them. And again, it's about finding that balance. So in the short term, what we're focused on right now is optimizing our mint contracts. Right now we have it limited, so the most you can mint is 360 active mints at a time, which, believe me, is enough. But we have people that, at launch minted thousands. So, this is crypto. We can't control people, and everything's permissionless. We want to make sure our contracts facilitate that. So we're working to optimize the minting contracts to have less parameters. The amount of mints that you can mint and claim would be up to you. There's no limit that we set. So right now we're working on that and really trying to make sure minting works exactly as we like, is flawless, the UI has no bugs, before we launch onto new chains. So within the next several weeks, we're looking to deploy on a new chain. Right now it's either Arbitrum, Metis, or Moonbeam. And again, that's just falls in line with our phase one, which is distribution. How do we get as many people as possible to hold this? So within the next few weeks, it's about getting on a new chain, maybe in the next month, possibly 2 chains, or 3 even. We really want to grow quickly and give everyone the chance to get in this, regardless of what chain they're on. And then we're moving towards marketing and building up the NFT launch. So actually building out that brand. It's really tough to distinguish yourself like it is in, as a normal project. But also if you're doing an NFT, it just takes a different type of marketing, a different type of branding. And we don't just want to throw something out there that we've spent months on creating the actual art and not give it, the proper marketing push it deserves. Because again, this is about distribution. We want as many people as possible looking at our community. And I believe that launching this NFT gives us a way to reach people that a meme token normally wouldn't. So, NFTs attract different types of people, right? It's some people that I've talked to have never touched crypto. Most of the time, they don't even know they're using crypto when they're buying NFTs. Why not reach those people? And why not do it well? So in the next, that's short term to me is, the next few months. And that's, just optimizing mint contracts, getting it on new chains, and then really pushing towards this full-on marketing push with the NFTs.
Yeah, thank you, Amir. I think you have got your answer and also make research
Thank you,
about
ma'am.
to know more about. Thank you, Amir. So the next people I can see the John Ricky. Hello, John Ricky.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, Ricky, ask your question, please.
My question is, what are you thinking about your project in 2023 and how to make your project bigger in the future? And how can we benefit from your project? That's my question.
Sorry, my mic was not unmuting. No, thank you for the question. The way I see it, for 2022, we want to get the community involved as much as, or 2023, sorry, forgot what year it was. We want to get the community involved as much as possible, right? This is, the community owns 99% of the token. You guys are in control whether you realize it or not. So why not be a part and help actually grow the project you're invested in? I mean, we're looking for people that are memers, are just can post on Twitter, that want to maybe help answer other people's questions in the Discord. People that have ideas that you normally wouldn't see in crypto. So for example, one of the things we want to do in the next month is have an event on a Twitter Spaces like this, or maybe Discord, where we just have a community member come on and they play live music if they're in a band or if they make music themselves. Like, has nothing to do with the token. It's just something kind of cool and fun that we want to cultivate musicians within our community. We want to cultivate artists that use AI generation like Midjourney. Like, you make your stuff in our Discord, see what other people are making. Have that cross pollination where you learn from other people. Maybe you find out a cool new Discord like prompt for Midjourney that you didn't know you could do from other people. We really want to just do something different with this. It's not, like I said at the beginning of this, people are in crypto for money and community. And, if you already mint the token, what more can you do, right? That's pretty much all you can do right now is mint, maybe stake. So why not just hang out, have some fun, talk to people. Like, crypto should be social, and I don't think it's social enough. Like, why not, meet someone that's just like you on the other side of the world that you never knew existed through our community. So that's what you can do. Just get involved. Just show up. Just, be yourself and take the opportunities we provide, like trivia, music night, the Midjourney bot. And if you do something that you want to see in our Discord that you think other people would like, just ping the mods. We'll get it set up.
Okay, thank you, John Ricky, for your question. So I hope you've got it and stay tuned with them. Thank you once again. And if you can, just follow their Telegram and also Twitter. So the next one I can see the Fortune. Hello, Fortune.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, Fortune, ask your question, please.
Okay, so my question is, what are your plan in the near future? Do you have any strategy to attract a new investor to your platform and keep them long time?
Yeah, so thank you for the question. It's really about just cultivating that community, like I said, keeping people engaged, working on our mint contracts, and then, just making sure we deliver on our roadmap. If everything goes to plan, we're having a new product every 3 months. So there's always something to look forward to. There's always something to share your ideas with. And as time goes on, there'll be more things to use. So again, being early in a project, it's everyone's dream to be early to something. But a lot of people don't realize that there's a lot of waiting involved. How early is early? A lot of the people that make life-changing money and have life-changing experiences, are not, it takes years for that to realize, but they trust in something. And, either it's the vision or the team, but, it's not easy. So we're trying to make it as easy as possible to see us through, and that's with the events and our roadmap.
Yeah, thank you, Fortune, for your question. And also, I think you have got it very clearly. So if you have any questions or any query about that, you can ask on their Telegram group after that. So thank you. So the next one is Alex. Hello, Alex.
Hello.
Yeah,
So,
Alex.
so my question is, regulation is very important for every project. So many projects are closed in many countries due to failure to use the correct regulation and permit. In order to go globally, how does your team deal with this issue?
Can you hear me? Sorry, I think my mic cut out.
Yeah,
So,
go on.
did you get my question?
Yeah, can you repeat it? Sorry.
Okay, so regulation is very important. Many projects are closed in many countries due to failure to use the correct regulation and permit. So, order to go globally, how does your team deal with this issue?
Right. So yeah, we have a very global team. We have mods from all around the world. We keep an active person on there at 24/7. Really, it's just about communicating with the community and just making sure that we're delivering on what they expect. So I think like the most obvious thing is that there should be someone able to answer questions at all hours of the day. Just because it's crypto's a global community, we should be able to treat someone from any time zone the same. So we've organized in that way to make sure that we understand this and that we have people in the right spots in the world to handle it. And yeah, it's just about communicating with the community. If we're doing something wrong or where people feel as we're falling short in an area, we're going to fix it. It's just as simple as that. We have the team, we have the resources, and it's just about people communicating to us what they do and don't like.
Thanks for your answer, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Alex, for your question. So the next one is Jen Perry. Hello, Jen Perry. Hello, Jen Perry.
Hi guys, can you hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear. Ask your question, please. Hello, Jen Perry.
Oh, okay. So my question is, can you hear me? Sorry.
Yeah. Ask your question,
Okay.
please.
Okay. Yeah. So my question is, can you tell me what are the goals for this 2023 and how will you make them sustainable?
Yeah, so I've talked about the goals in the roadmap. Maybe I'll just touch on the sustainable part more. I think it's about a few things. Just making sure the team is well funded in order to actually see this roadmap through, which we already are. And each product that we build will add a new revenue stream to make sure we'll still be around. And it's about communicating with each other and treating the community and team with respect. So if something is happening in someone's lives, like it's life. It happens. We'll figure it out. But the better we treat our team and community members, I think the more resilient we'll be, because that kind of love is just infectious, and I think people know it. Either in the community they can feel it. I don't know if you've ever been in a community where you go in, the dev's always angry, no one's responding, people don't want to be there that have to be there. It's just not what people want. You want a cool community. You want something that will be around and that you want to be around. Something that if it disappeared off the face of the earth, you'd feel like your life is worse off. And that's what we want to be. We really want to try to capture that feeling that crypto loses so often, which is the lack of the human element. We want to highlight that, every single person is someone on the other side of the screen that has talents and interests and has value to add, even if they don't feel like it. Crypto is a great place to showcase and explore what you're good at. So, do it with us. Try it out. Try out our events. Come in, just talk to people. yeah, at the end of the day, just see what we're going to build, because you're here listening to this AMA, you're early. We've been alive for a week. So 2 years is going to fly by. But at the same time, being within the first week of a multi-year project, I think is pretty cool. So, yeah, I'd say just being sustainable in how we treat people is the focus.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank
And
you,
sorry.
John Perry.
Yeah, and another question. Can I?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Okay. And regarding the Tetron NFT collection, what are the utilities it will give to community members and minters? How are it in a coming future? Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. So yeah, I touched on this a little, but let me just highlight it. The NFT and the token are going to be synergistic. The NFT is for the first, 10,000 people in our community. Essentially, that's the goal. We want them to have this distinguished image and look, so that when we are a community hundreds of thousands strong, people will know that they were, in it early, and that they took the risk. They were here during the bear market, which isn't easy, by the way, as you all know. And that, they stuck around and they saw us through. And I think that should be rewarded. So not only will they get the NFT, each NFT will have utility in our products. So it'll either be a discounted fee, or they will get some sort of fee in return, based on just holding the NFT. Or there'll be certain advantages based on rarity of the NFT. We really want to play into the meta or the metadata that we enter. So, and we want to use that. We just don't want it to be random. So yeah, I think it's just in our roadmap to tying them all together. That's our plan, and that's why we're launching it so early too. And we're going to build around both the token and the NFT in a way that they work off of each other rather than conflict.
Okay, thank you, Janperi, for your great questions. So I hope in future you will make sure that you'll be with their project.
Oh, great. Thank you for your answer, and that can all it makes a difference. Thank you.
Yes, thank you for that. So, sir, I think we're enough for now, as we have time limitation, and also there's so many issues. So we need to wrap up this AMA right now. So, do you want to say something as a last speech to our community, and also any kind of advice for the Wise Crypto?
Yeah, so if you have any questions, I see we didn't get to a lot, join our Discord, ping me or the mods, I'll answer you. We think it's important to make sure everyone's heard, so join our Discord. Our Twitter is at XEX Crypto, at XEX_crypto. And also, we are going to launch something really cool, kind of weird, using Bitcoin ordinals in the next 24, 48 hours. So stay tuned for that. It's going to be really cool. And just something different. If you haven't heard about Bitcoin ordinals, look into them.
Yes, that's true. So this is possible to unmute everyone through this limited time. So if you have any kind of questions and queries, just ask on their Telegram group. They'll be there to answer it, and stay tuned with them to know more about their updates and information. So thank you, sir, for your precious time to Wise Crypto and all of our community people. Thank you once again, and bye-bye.
Yeah, thank you.